I have to say, I think the first Star Wars I saw was the Star Wars the Phantom Menace. I didn't go to the classic. I don't think you showed me the classic right off the bat.
He's into those.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the classic Star Wars, the whatever it is, the series. It was number one for me because it was like 77.
New Hope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
4.
don't know what it's
Yeah.
called, but Star Wars. It was called Star Wars.
Yeah.
At a drive-in theater of all places. I think in 77.
So when it came out.
Is it when it came
Yeah.
out? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
What was your experience to that? Like what?
Drive-in.
The
The drive-in
yes,
was
the
crazy because we hid in the trunk of the car to get everybody in for $5. I was like 7. It was like, hey, just get in the trunk. Don't shut up. Don't say anything.
what was your experience like watching Star Wars?
It was cool. I mean, still at that age, 7, it was a different level of, our sci-fi back then was, there really wasn't that much.
I mean, Trek was out, though, right?
Trek was
Yeah.
out, but that was a weekly show that, my folks didn't watch at all. And at 7, when you have one television in the house and no cable, you don't get to choose. I was happy to watch Cowboy Bob and Janie in the mornings before I went to school, and that was about all the selection I got. So I didn't have a whole lot of experience or, just the ability to comprehend really what I was seeing. It was just, I knew it was new and there was shiny robots and, kind of futuristic, but, it was at a level that I hadn't seen before. They just knew that it was supposed to be really good and taking over the country. And so I didn't appreciate it until, afterwards, after probably maybe even after the second one came out, and you're like, oh man, this could be some kind of really big thing. It's really taken off now.
Because like when I remember as a kid watching it and it being, it's a huge part of the culture. It's one of the biggest. I think Disney is the biggest, but it's like one of the biggest like brands out there is Star Wars, and it's people who were like, I was born in '97, and like Star Wars was huge. It was ginormous. That's all I knew it was. I never knew it was like, like you in 77 when it came out, sneaking in the back of a trunk, like you probably didn't know, like you just thought it was a movie.
Yeah, that's what we thought. It was just, hey, it was a new movie, and we didn't have anything to compare it to. Like I said, Star Trek and stuff like that, but I wasn't really exposed to that. So it was, my folks or my friends, whoever, I don't really remember who I went with, but other than I was in the back of a trunk. Was they knew that it was like the new thing to come out. They knew that it was the new movie to see, but they didn't realize that it was going to be part of culture from that point moving forward, and beyond. I mean, however long it goes on.
Has movie culture changed, you think, since you were a kid? Because like you grew up, I'm guessing. I mean, from what we've talked about and like classics, like all of our parents probably grew up with classics like Humphrey Bogart. And
See, I don't think that's. I mean, I think that's changed. I mean, I have a. That's my style. I like the less is more type of
film noir almost.
Yeah. So I Humphrey Bogart's probably my favorite actor, and I didn't realize that until much later in life, till actually probably right before you were born. In the mid '90s, mid to the late '90s. So I didn't have an appreciation for that until then, right? But as far as the culture is concerned, from when I grew up and the type of movies that they showed, it was still some of that same type of less is more. It's more artistic. Let your imagination take you where your imagination takes you, and not so much what you're shown visually, right? So. The blood and gore, if you want to get into that, there definitely wasn't as much of that. But there wasn't as much, there was more innuendo and not so much telling somebody exactly what they thought they would so there was a little bit more, less in your face, type of movies.
Do you guys have any questions? Feel free to ask.
Yeah. Jump on in.
Right. I don't have any at the moment, but
okay.
I will keep that in mind from now on.
No. I only run the show. I am
Bogart and all the airspace.
I am the face. I'm the.
Yeah, you got a face for radio.
I do. I do.
What do you think of it's more like when I think of like noir-esque, a little bit of like a kind of like an ending that's just like you're unsure where it's like why it went there. It's like Chinatown.
Right.
What do you think of Chinatown?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't remember movies really well unless I watch a ton of them, or that movie over and over again. But as far as a ending of that, there's it's stuff noir to me right now would be like a True Detective type of show.
I love True Detective.
Oh, I did too. Super.
It was
I've
amazing.
never seen it.
I totally love those. I that kind of goes along with the less is more. I want my experience to be a let me think about it. Let me draw my own conclusions.
Exactly.
And not have a don't force feed me.
Yeah,
right?
they really did well with that on the first season.
First season.
McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Second season was horrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
the first
man, I
season.
wanted to poke my eyeballs out. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
it's so good.
Yeah, third one was good. I don't know if you saw the.
I haven't seen it. That's the one with Vince Vaughn.
No, that's the second one.
Okay.
This one's with.
Marshala.
Yeah.
Marshala.
That was pretty good. And that one's really a mind bender.
Really?
Yes, that one's woof. That one's something.
Yeah, I was just told don't even bother with 2.
Don't
but
watch
3.
Yeah, I
Don't
got
watch
2 episodes in, and I was like, I can't do
Yeah.
this.
All I see, if I see Vince Vaughn, all I think is old school. That's all. Yeah. Hey, we're going
That's a
streaking.
great.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. I recently saw something. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a text message. Bad radio host over here. I recently saw something the other day that Will Ferrell is going to do. They're doing like an Anchorman TV show. It's like rumored.
Oh.
I don't know. It's like rumored or something like that. Or like they're doing some type of TV show. It has like Paul Rudd in it. Maybe I don't know.
How I feel about that.
I don't know how it's. I don't know if it's true. I read something. I don't read a lot, so
Yeah, I could see it being pulled off, but the problem is if they only have like, Ron Burgundy and then Paul Rudd's character, the rest are missing. You can't do it without Brick. Like
Gotta have Brick.
You
Brick
gotta
was
have
the best. Brick was the
Like,
best.
Whammy.
Who is that? It's
Steve Carell?
No.
that's Briggs. Whammy's the sports guy.
Sports guy.
That's
He's on The Office. He's the
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He's
I want to say Rob Riggle, but he
No.
like is exactly in
no.
that.
No, Rob
It's like
Riggle.
Rob Riggle is. They're both very similar. Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but he's in so
It's
much.
Todd Packer on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Todd Packer on The Office.
Todd F. Packer.
Yes. That's trivia for you right there.
Yes. You run trivia.
I do run
He runs trivia.
Fridays.
Do you have any questions for us? Can you think of a question that we?
What is Todd Packer's actor's name on?
Oh. Can I
Skip pass.
skip past?
Yeah.
Skip
Phone a
pass.
friend. So, music. Now
That's my jam.
that's your yeah.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
I go buy a guitar after this.
I still have your guitar in my
I know
closet.
I know.
So you grew up with radio.
That's all we had. Two AM FM. Back when I just first can remember, 3-4 years old, AM, and that was the AM stations were the ones that were playing all the music.
Really?
The
What was
FM
FM?
FM was just coming into mainstream, so it didn't really pick up steam until the at least for me where I lived, it was like the mid '70s. Later in the, so they had FM stations, but you got most of your music from the AM stations.
Would that be because was FM like so like if you listen now, AM's a little bit dustier, I feel like, than FM. Was that
No
because
stereo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't. I mean, I was never really up on the the electronics or the reasoning behind why one caught up with or didn't catch up with it. But I mean, if you look at the from what I understand, I think it has to do with some of the capabilities of how far the signals can reach. And so the FM is like 101.9 or whatever we're at here. I don't know what the call center.
Oh, 99.1.
99.1.
Pure Student Radio, WIUX,
There you
LP
go.
Bloomington.
Ain't even the top of the hour.
Segue for you.
Yeah. This is Alternative No Sidecar. Sorry, continue.
So so that's like 99.1 megahertz, right? And so on the AM side, it's like 55 to like 840, like I don't. It's not megahertz. It's something else. So it's like a lower part of the spectrum. So I think
Okay.
they might have had to open up the spectrum or to get those radio waves to pass. I don't know, something like that. I'm just spitballing, but yeah. So we just had AM. The music was
What was like one of the first songs that you?
Jive Talking to Bee Gees.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Very-
My mom gave me a 45. I don't even know if she liked country. I don't even know why she gave me that. But
Yeah,
she
Grandma
had-
likes country.
Yeah, it's weird. And so she's like, "Here, you can have this." I was like, "I don't have a record player." She's
Well,
like,
hold on. You said that it's weird that she likes country. I would consider Drive By Truckers pretty country.
Oh, okay, that's a different story. That's
You're getting to the age where you're
Drive-By Truckers are definitely not. They are alt rock, country rock.
Was that the band that played at the top of the show?
No, that was
Strand of Oaks.
That's the
Strand
same,
of Oaks.
pretty much the same thing.
We got
Oh, yeah,
we got a
that's-
Drive-By Truckers song queued up 3 times down.
It's not rock.
It's definitely country.
It's definitely not. Yeah.
I think it is.
So what do you want to know? So Jive Talking 45 by my mom.
What was this? I'm all the way. I'm
Yeah,
so far
yeah.
away from the mic. Sorry. What
Professional.
like did you just like turn the radio? Like nowadays, like there's Spotify and there's Apple Music, and like we can pick the songs, and obviously
Right.
you had no choice to do that.
Had no choice. So yeah. So and that's why you were force fed. That's why you guys or anybody right now, but you guys especially as you've grown up, you have the opportunity to choose so much more and be so far more. Have access to so many different things that you can learn to like or find out that you like. Whereas when we grew up, it was, 3 songs, 8 minutes of commercials.
8 minutes of
it was
commercials?
forever.
Wow.
It felt like forever. And then
See, I get mad at like a 15-second YouTube commercial.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
very.
listen to FM radio every once in a while and
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's and that's how they pay their bills. So
That's fair, yeah.
no
Yeah.
problem with that. But
They even try to work around that.
They try to,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're like, well, hour of music, and
yeah,
then
1
I
hour
think
music
the,
and then
them
90
probably
minutes of commercials. So, but yeah, so it's it's you guys have it's a good time for music people making music and for people consuming it. So.
Did you guys know I made a song? Noah knows. Noah produced the beat.
Oh yeah.
You didn't know I made a song?
Oh, it's great.
I think you told me about it, but
Oh my God,
I haven't heard it.
I've made 2 actually.
Yeah, his
Really?
uncle,
Bangers.
my brother, wanting to just
Bangers.
put it out everywhere. Yeah.
Is it
Straight.
rap?
No,
No.
There's rap in it.
there is rap. It is not me who does the rap.
Shout out Des.
Shout out Desmond, week 1 co-host.
What'd you do?
I sang the melody.
Oh, okay.
Or
Yeah.
or Smelody.
Or melody.
Yeah.
Yes, it was great. There is a music video too. It is on YouTube.
Oh, it is.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, it has not been released anywhere, so you cannot find this unless you really, really dig.
Really did.
Really dig.
Yeah.
Oh man,
All right. So what else you want to know?
what else I want to know? I don't know. What
So
do you guys?
You said that your mom gave you that 45, and you're like, I didn't have a record player.
I don't. Yeah. No. I have
Did-
no way to.
So what?
Did she buy you one after that, or did you go and
eventually,
buy one?
like literally, like 2 houses later. So I still had it.
She start collecting.
Yeah, a little bit. My first, so that was like a give me record, right? It was like, okay, hey, here you go. I'm not going to use this, so you have it. My first album that I was like, okay, I would like Santa Claus to bring this to me.
Do you still believe in Santa Claus?
I believe in Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Yes.
The first record that I asked for was Kiss. Yeah, Kiss
That was the
Alive
first.
2.
That was the first band I ever saw too.
Yes.
Great
That
show.
was the first band I ever saw as well.
Really, I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. I saw it Market Square. Wasp opened up for Kiss.
Here's a trivia question.
Yes.
What is it? The guitarist with the tongue, or is it all of them?
Just one.
How
just
long
one
is the
Gene.
tongue?
Word on the streets. I think it's like 8 inches. Or something like
it's
that.
8 inches.
Long. He's Gene Simmons. He's the
demon.
bassist. I just actually saw him again in last August. They came through at Clips or whatever it's called now. So that's what it's called.
Roll off, yeah.
Roll off, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be Deer Creek
Right.
back in the day.
Yeah.
But
We remember those days.
yeah,
The good
yeah.
old days.
The good old days.
So, but that was the first one, and I think by then I did have a record player. So
Was it one of those with like the big like brass type
No,
of, like,
no.
tuba
It was actually
things?
it was horrible. It was one that only fit 45. So if you had a 33-inch,
You say it's portable?
it was small. Yeah. So you could,
Oh,
but it
okay.
wasn't like a portable. I guess it could be portable, but it didn't run off batteries. Or
Oh,
anything
okay,
like that.
gotcha.
But if you, one of the benefits of having a full-size turntable is, the record sits flat for the most part. They warp a little bit every once in a while. So if you only have a 45-inch or 45, or the record player that holds 45s, you could play a 33 on it. But if it was warped at all, it would actually go up and down. So you'd have to counterbalance it with so I had a football trophy that I set on the top of it to hold it down so I could play it. So, yeah.
How do you feel about so nowadays there is an increase in sales in vinyl records and
Well,
whatnot.
actually, did you see? It's part of an interruption. Like
physical copies, it's the most
No,
sold.
one of the leading is because there's like only like 2 companies nowadays that make like the actual vinyl. Their plant, like half of it burned down.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Oh,
so
wait,
that was
that
that was like
happened-
that
that
was
happened a while back, couple
it was
months.
it was like I don't know if it was it could have been like a month ago.
Was that when all the masters disappeared? They were like, everything's gone.
I don't remember. I don't know about that. It could have been, but now because it's like there was one in the United States. I think it was in the United States, the one that burnt down, and there was one over in Japan, and the vinyl industry is like really worried about it. But continue. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, how do you feel like? Because nowadays, I think people they collect them. They're collectibles.
Sure.
Like they buy them specifically because some people enjoy artwork.
I mean, I have some. I have some of like my favorite
Yeah.
like albums and stuff.
You gotta
Yeah.
have a crate. Like
Yeah.
I would go and like back home, and we had this comic book store that like also sold records. So me and my neighbor would just go there like once a week, buy a record or two. But totally because it's collectible. Like it just
So I mean, it was functional for us, right? You know, it.
When did
wasn't-
cassettes start coming in? Sorry,
Yeah, you were.
I'm just the worst.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
my
How
show.
is this? Yeah. Cassettes were in the first things I remember were 8-tracks. Mm-hmm. So 8-tracks were kind of like I don't want to say the first cassettes, but it was on tape. You know, wasn't on anything else. And they would have a click over. So I think it was like it was either 2-track or whatever. So you would click over to
next
the other
one.
side, and so it'd read it going backwards. So it was it's kind of weird. So you'd be right in the middle of a song, and you hear. It would pause for a second, you hear click, and then it'd go and start playing again.
But sorry, yeah, back to Noah's question.
I didn't even answer yours.
Oh.
So like late 70s,
Oh my God.
late 70s to early 80s, you could start to get, I think cassettes were taking the place of records just for portability's sake, right? So people wanted to start listening to their own music in cars, not being force-fed by the radio and stuff like that. So, but with regard to collectible, no, I totally agree with that perspective. Like I said, it was functional for back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 50s, however long, right? And then now it's at one of the things when Trev told me that he was going to invite me in and kind of talk about today's culture versus everything's cyclic, and so and it might not come back in the exact same way,
Right.
but things always come back, and so I think that's what a little bit of this is. But then you get some of the
Just like evolve almost, kind of.
yeah, but you get some of the you can feel the history or the past with it too. It's
Yeah.
pure.
Yeah.
It's analog. It's
Yeah.
not digital.
Yeah.
You can hear the little cracks and stuff in the.
Like the technology of it is like truly physically like those grooves. It's crazy to me that those grooves sonically turn into
Sound.
that.
Yeah.
It blows my
It's
mind because
insane.
it's like I mean I'm not sure if this is like correct or not. I mean I'm no like record whiz, but like it's like legitimate waveforms, just like physical waveforms right in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes too. There was I forget what it was. I was reading a history article, and there's like ancient, like there's like rocks, and like they would sketch stuff into it, and they actually played sounds that they like they put a needle on it or something like that.
Probably bigger than a needle,
but it's like a diamond. It has like a really like small or like not small, like
probably like a stick.
something, yeah. But like it played sounds, like they played it over and like it captured like sounds like from that whenever they like the cavemen or whoever did it, like primitive. Something like that. It's that could be super far fetched, but I remember reading something like that.
I read it in a chapter book.
I read it in a chapter book. All right, well, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about mullets and perms
And one
and
of those.
all types of fashion trends from the 70s and 80s.
You
Yeah.
don't play the Drive-By Truckers? Is that country music you like?
Oof, I think maybe. All right, guys. Well, as per request, here's Drive-By Truckers. And we are back. That was Cause You're Mine, Jungle, Cause You're Mine. You're listening to WIUX, Pure Student Radio 99.1. Alternative No Sidecar. Skirt. Yep. Everything alternative with no sidecar. If you're now tuning in, I'm Trevor Johnson. I have a lovely slew of guests today. Brandon, Noah, and my father.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey.
Would you like to make any shout out? Ooh, I hit the mic. Shout out.
I don't know if she's still listening, but
Oh, she's the worst.
hey, Allison.
Noah?
Shout out to Catherine if she's listening, because I
Or-
think she's the only one who knows of my whereabouts right now.
Yourself, do you want to shout out?
My dog Piper.
Oh, yeah. Piper is a cute dog.
Yeah.
What kind of dog?
Jack Russell.
He's really cute.
Very
Yeah.
smart. Super smart.
Super
Smarter
smart.
than I am, actually.
He's very smart.
Gets what he wants.
Shout out to Kat out there. So, yeah, those are the shout outs. Okay, so next topic. We talked about.
Next topic.
Next
Moving
topic.
on.
I got weird looks over here. Kat is a real person.
Okay, sure.
It.
Yeah.
Wow, judgment. Really, it's a real person.
Okay.
Next topic. So trends. So it is no mystery that my father is old.
Jeez.
Man. Roast here.
Oh yeah. Not that old though. But so he grew up. You were born in 70.
1970. May
1970,
30th,
May 30th.
Coming up on 50.
Coming up on 50.
Yep.
So there is a infamous picture of you out there, which you guys haven't seen. I don't have it. I might have it somewhere. It was your perm mullet.
My senior picture. Senior picture. Just for you guys. Throw this out for you. Yeah, that was all the rage back in the day. It was hairspray.
Did you use a lot of hairspray?
I had hairspray in my hair. Yes, you had to keep the mullet in place. You didn't want a lot of flow in your mullet. You didn't want it to bounce. It
had to be stiff.
It was a stiff mullet. So yeah,
That's a band name. I call it.
Yes.
Yeah, stiff mullet.
stiff mullet.
It's a good one.
So
Yeah.
it was just like everybody says, everyone's doing it. So
Yeah. So like, what do you think of? So that was a popular trend. Was long hair? I guess mullets, perms. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the picture.
there you go.
That's a
Throw
good
that
one.
guy.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's
Throw
a
that
classic.
guy.
It's a classic.
That's
That was
Classy.
I think that was 10 years BT. 10 years before Trevor.
Really?
So, yeah.
BT.
Yeah.
BT. Yes.
So it was it's just, I mean, it's no different than today.
But like when you look at it, so obviously you don't have a mullet now,
No,
or a perm.
No, I don't have enough hair for either.
But when you there's a lot of different, like, I mean, the man bun was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. There was and it's like back in like the early 2000s, it was like the really spiky hair,
Sure.
fast hair.
Fast hair.
Yeah. And now it's kind of, today, what would you guys consider like the hair is like? It's very short, but there's also like people with like, it's like short and flow.
I think one of the most common ones I see is like you shave both sides down to like a fade.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you keep it real long on top.
I'll be honest about that one. Some people look like thumbs, like Spy Kids thumbs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
it does not work for everybody. It really doesn't.
I'll show you a picture of Thumb.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's kind of what we said before. It's, culture is, I just think that it's very cyclical. I think things come back just for.
This is Thumb.
Oh yeah.
It's a literal thumb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, nice stuff. Yeah, but I think it's just, there will eventually, as much as I think we're all going to hate it, the mullet's going to come back. It might not
You
be
think
back
so?
for a while.
I mean, Joe Dirt brought it back.
Brought it back for a bit, and there's I'm not so sure that Trump's not going to bring back the mullet. Yeah. So I mean, I think that there's some legitimacy to everything coming back, and I think it will come back. You see it every once in a while, and people, it'll take a Kardashian to do it or something, but one of those people finally do it, then it's going to go crazy again.
Yeah.
What was? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, there's only so many things that like humans can do with their hair.
Sure.
So it's like, what else is gonna be new?
Exactly.
I
yeah.
just don't know. Like people like Stranger Things, the show, and what's that guy's name?
Billy.
Joe Keery.
Yeah.
Joe
Joe
Keery.
Keery.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Billy, the brother
Billy's
of Max.
but
Billy had
people-
the perm mullet.
Yeah.
He rocked. He also had a stash. That's what I
But
was
the
supposed to
thing
be
is,
for
they all
Halloween.
look good. Like they do. I mean, they're glamorized on a TV show, but like
Yeah.
I could be fairly positive. Some people would be like,
I would rock Joe Keery's hair. I would if I could. If I
Yeah.
had it, I would
a
do
lot
it.
of hair, though.
It's a lot of hair.
Yeah, but those guys on the TV shows too. I mean, they don't do their hair, right?
No,
they have
they don't.
somebody do it for them.
That is
Definitely
true.
not.
That is very
that's
true.
why. That's why it kind of gets me. It's like Brad Pitt. He always looks impeccable, and it's not because he's Brad Pitt. It's because he has somebody that does all his stuff for him all the time.
His hair is definitely something new for me. I just think his hair looks really good right now. Brad Pitt's like it's like
it's
right
it's
here or
good.
something.
The little, yeah.
He looks really good in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That is very true. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it yet.
I've
have you?
not seen
It's
it.
pretty
We're
good.
Waiting,
It's a classic.
waiting
It's
for
good.
it. Yeah.
For Tarantino to hand it to you himself, right?
Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can hand it to me himself or send it by proxy via snail mail, whatever.
Yeah,
Just get
It's-
the reels. That's what I want.
I feel it. So what was another trend that was big? Say, okay, let's do, when you were 12 years old, what was a big trend?
Parachute pants.
Parachute.
I don't even know what those are.
So
MC Hammer.
No, different. That's different.
Oh, that is?
That is different. Parachute pants were tight cropped. They were and they were like nylon type. So it would be like what you would expect to see somebody who's jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah.
They had zippers on the sides and stuff like that. So
Ah.
yeah, you could hide all your special pencils or your,
Honestly, that sounds kind of cool.
They weren't bad, but it lasted for a year. Skinny ties. So I went to
Was
my
that
first
12?
dance.
Was that
yeah.
12 years old as well?
Yeah, skinny tie. Yeah.
I have a few skinny ties.
Yeah.
I want to bring back the bolo tie.
Oh,
yeah.
bring it back.
Yeah.
It's around.
Yeah.
It's just got to go further south.
My father claims that he brought back
I
the
did
bow
bring back
tie.
the bow tie.
bow tie?
No one was rocking it before I was. That was probably 15 years ago.
He was-
I wore a bow tie to prom.
So, did I?
But did you tie it? See, I
No,
tie. I have
it
no
was a
clue.
clip-on.
Oh,
Yeah,
shame.
yeah.
Shame.
They only
Big
provide
guy.
clip-ons at those like
Yeah.
cheap tuck
So
stores.
So what I try to do every year is I try to learn something new. So every year at the beginning of the year, it's like, okay, I'm going to learn something new this year. So probably 15 years ago, I was like, you know what? Because I was starting to watch the Humphrey Bogart movies and stuff like that. And you'd see those guys, and they were just doing it right there in the mirror. They weren't
Yeah.
looking. And so I was like, man, that's super cool. How those guys do that? And so I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to do this. And so I went all over the place, all over Greenwood, trying to find a tie, like one of those, and you couldn't find them. I finally went to like Men's Warehouse, and he's like, "Oh, I think we got some up here in this little basket." He brings it down, and they're all dusty and stuff. And I was like, "Okay, I just need to practice." And so I found that he had a couple actually that weren't too bad, and so I bought 2 or 3, and I started wearing them out. I was just like, I don't care, and then next thing you know, poof, 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 it just
He did
takes
it.
off.
He did it.
Yeah.
I wore one both my proms actually. Yeah, because my first prom was the Casablanca-esque suit, and then the
No
next
one wore anything like that.
no one
Next year,
did.
when you went, everybody.
Everybody did,
Trendsetter.
and then that my senior year I wore a plaid tuxedo that we bought from JCPenney's for $13.
Yeah.
We still have it.
Oh, we do. I wear it all the time.
I won it.
Yeah, too bad. I get my guitar back. You can get that.
So okay, when we were 12, what was?
Oh, I got a
Ooh,
good one.
12.
All right, let's hear it.
Nike Elite socks.
Oh my God, yeah. Or
yeah.
the Nike Shocks. I remember
Yeah,
those
Nike
Nike Shocks. I had to have a pair of those.
Was it Adidas zigzags? Was that 12 years old?
No, you're thinking of the Reebok.
Was that Reebok?
Those are Reeboks.
Yeah.
They were because they were. I had a pair of them.
You had a pair
I
of
had
everything.
I had like 4 pairs of them.
Man, those soles are doo doo.
They were they were so comfy.
No, I don't disregard the comfort, but like the bottom, you know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
those zigzags. Like I just remember when those like get worn out because like the whole bottom just becomes flat.
Yeah.
Like it becomes like slippers.
Sorry, mid text message. I'm a terrible host.
You are not good. Yeah.
The
I love
breast
you, though.
cancer
Thank you.
awareness bracelets. I heart boobies.
Oh, yeah.
I Heart Boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Those were big.
Those little gimmick wristbands.
Oh,
You
the
can't
slaps?
tip over. No, not the slaps. The ones you put on and they're like, oh, you can't tip. You can't like fall. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes,
They were
yes,
like
yes.
They had me.
Yes,
they had
yeah.
me
Balance
fooled.
wristbands.
Okay.
Like Iomic.
Yeah.
Like the center yourself type of magnetic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What
Silly
were
bands.
those
Football. All the
necklaces?
football guys.
Yeah,
wear.
they were like the Phaeton necklaces. Yeah, those were 12. 12 was a great age.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go 15, starting at high school.
15 Coca-Cola shirts.
So like everybody had a Coca-Cola shirt.
Not everybody. I mean,
Were you a defector and went Pepsi?
No, but that's a good question. No. But that was one of the things. Coca-Cola came out with a shirt that said Coca-Cola across it. It was weird. It was like a rugby shirt.
Yeah.
People wanted that. Mullets started getting
Back?
really not back. That's kind of when they started. I would say
Okay.
mid, maybe early '80s, mid '80s. What do you call them? Army fatigues.
Really?
Yeah,
That
so
makes
like
sense.
The camouflage pants.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, the camouflage.
People
pants.
still wearing that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do. Yeah, no,
it's-
that's
yeah,
still a
they're
big thing.
comfy. Yeah, and you can hide all kinds of stuff. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like those are like the cargo shorts. Before they were cargo shorts.
Cargo embargo, though. Remember.
I miss
Oh, yeah.
cargo shorts.
Who are you? You
I'm
miss
sorry.
them?
Dude, I love. They call them tacticals now.
No,
Just to make
no,
them sound prettier.
no.
I mean, I'm never gonna wear them again. But
No, if you
dang,
wear 'em, I
love
will-
pockets.
Tactical.
Shun
I
you.
Like that. That's all you have to do is change the name of something, and it's brand new.
God, this
It
is.
was so you know how much stuff I would carry as a
And this
kid?
is where we end the show. Thanks, guys, for everybody for listening.
Yeah, so those were some of the things like 15. And you're just starting to drive. Or
You started driving at
you're
15?
taking your or your driver's ed and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
your
So
permit.
you're starting to get.
I didn't get my license till I was 17.
Something else that was just starting was the acid wash.
Oh, that's still prevalent today.
Well,
Yeah.
it went away and
It
came
did.
back,
Yeah, it
right?
came back.
So,
So 15 for us. I can think of one really good.
I can think
It-
of a couple.
It was like the Hot Topic Zoomies funny T-shirts, like the cat T-shirts and
See,
stuff.
I went to a private high school, so
Yeah,
uniforms
that's-
only.
Uniforms only.
So
Uniformity
I
was
started,
prevailed.
I started
Yeah.
noticing that a lot of people in high school started rolling their pants.
the
Cuffing.
pegging.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't do that. No,
Um,
I was in a pub.
Vans.
I was
I had never seen Vans before until I got to high school.
my
Really?
first. What was your guys' first color? Did you guys like?
I got navy blue as my first color.
Vans.
Yeah.
Oh, I never got Vans. Like
My
my mom always I don't know. She'd always be like, we can't afford.
Do you remember my first color Vans?
I say I I don't know if it's the Star Wars.
No, those were after I started working at Journeys.
Okay, was it the?
They were no, I didn't. I've never had a pair of checker either. They were the
pink.
neon green, and then I put purple laces in them because I thought I was cool.
yes.
And they were also size 12, and I wear a size 10 because I thought I had big feet.
They just stunk a lot.
They did. They still stink a lot.
I think that was the DeMarco effect.
Oh yeah. The DeMarco effect. I feel it. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Mac DeMarco.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
when he started becoming popular.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
Kept
right.
his pants.
Yeah.
His fans.
You're right. Okay, so next age. What do you guys think? What's a good age? Like,
15, like,
so we did 15. So like, what's another age that?
I suppose 18.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah, 18.
That's the increment of
Early
3
20s.
again. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that was, from
That was
what-
88.
Yeah, that would have been 88. It wouldn't have been that far off. I mean, one of the things that you guys benefited from your locale was you're closer to a city, so you had easier access to, especially at your age, now. We didn't have Amazon. We couldn't see all the latest trends, blah, 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 blah. I grew up in a smaller town in southeast Indiana, and so I didn't make it up to Indianapolis to see what's the cool stuff and, blah, 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 blah. But so I didn't have a lot of this stuff, but, from what I could tell, from watching TV and stuff like that, the hammer pants, that's when that started coming in. Cardigans, much bigger clothes, much baggier clothes. Ladies started wearing like shoulder pads. Like, have you seen the jackets and stuff? Like, their shoulders are like straight across.
Yep.
So that was some of the stuff that was in those days. One of the things that I did forget to say I think it was like 12 to 15 in that ballpark. And then I just started rocking it a couple of weeks ago again, just to start screwing with people. Is multiple polos like stuck inside of
That one color flipped up.
Yeah. I flipped up all mine. I just kept flipping them up. I looked like Dracula when I walked out of the house. But
Oh Lord, I bet Shanna was not happy with that.
yeah, she didn't care.
Yeah, she really doesn't. Well, I mean, there's some things that she's just.
Yeah, she's pretty cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she lets me be me.
So what about 21? You were in the Navy.
I was in the Navy, so again, uniformity must prevail. So I didn't have a whole lot of choice in my wardrobe.
He was a submariner.
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 Actually, if you want to, yes. I was on a sub out of Mare Island in California. It's a nuclear reactor operator, ran the nuke plant. So we wore a poopy suit out there. So it's basically just like a set of overall type of things, coveralls. So that was my attire for about 5 years. That and dungarees, but back in those days, it was flannel.
Because this was now 90s.
Yeah, this is 90s. We started picking up a little bit of that my senior year. I got a picture of me in my yearbook with some flannel on and
Nice.
But 90s was flannel, grunge, ripped up jeans, Chuck Taylors. Although those will never go out of style. There's been Chuck Taylors forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Same as I think classic Nikes as well.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of what's happening in the 90s is
Coming
still
back.
surviving. No, it's still surviving.
That
like
too,
now.
yeah.
Like it's still kicking. People are thinking that now that the 20s are coming in, there's gonna be like a whole new wave. Like just like something completely different that everybody's gonna be hopping on.
what would you guys say? Like, we're all relatively new to 21. Like, I'm 22, about to be 23. You're
21, about to be 22.
and you're
halfway through to 22.
Yeah, so it's like we're this age. Like, what do you think right now is the biggest trend? Because there's so many trends out there.
I have no idea.
What have you noticed? Like, what's
The internet makes it confusing to know what like is really because like I mean it's not like we're not getting force fed, so there's a ton of things happening.
So,
Yeah.
you see so much on social media.
that's true.
Like there's definitely people that know what's going on. I don't have the knowledge. I just get my stuff from Goodwill.
I mean,
like,
same.
When it comes
But
to
see, that's the trend.
I think
It is-
thrifting is a
it-
big trend
yeah,
nowadays.
retro.
Yeah.
Retro.
Yeah.
I don't know, because hypewear has never been bigger. Hypewear nowadays
yeah,
is
true.
really
Oh,
big.
you're talking like Supreme and
I'm
stuff.
Yeah.
Supreme and
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but
I
see, I
gotta
think that was. I think as we bought that stuff for you back in high school. So that was 5 years.
Okay, like hypewear, as in like I'm talking
Bape.
like so like when we're thinking hypewear, we're thinking more along like really expensive, exclusive stuff. So it's like, yeah, I wore a lot of Abercrombie, and I wore a lot of like,
Spoiled.
yeah, Abercrombie and Aeropostale and Hollister, American Eagle. And that was more staples. That was more. But like when we're thinking hype, I'm thinking like the $1,000 Air Force One Supremes.
Yeah, like only
Right.
500
So
people.
yeah.
have
So,
Yeah.
access to
Yeah.
release.
I don't know.
So-
Hype's probably a good word. I didn't understand what you were saying. So yeah.
It's like it's
But that's not. I don't think that's not a sustainable trend, right? So that people just can't go out and do that. Right?
that's. I mean, you're right. You have to have some type of
I think, yeah. It's
wallet,
more of
a certain type of wallet to do
trend
that.
for
Yeah.
subculture.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's more of a subculture. A trend is something that it's going to be at Walmart in a couple of weeks.
Because, like,
That's a
Okay,
trend.
fair.
even those, like, hype beasts, they still thrift like crazy.
That's true. You're right, because they thrift for the older versions of
Yeah.
Okay, what about? Because I wear a lot of it. I wear a lot of workwear. I love workwear, like especially like Carhartt pants and Dickies pants and stuff like that. And I mean, like, I know people have been wearing this forever, especially skate fashion. I'm real big into skate fashion. But I feel like this is coming around more now than it ever has. Because it used to be skinny jeans.
Yeah.
You guys remember those days? Those were the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah, we'd
I
have to
think
go
I
buy
am
a new
wearing
pair
skinny
every
jeans
week.
right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, mine are, like, bordering.
Yeah,
mine
you
are-
still
mine are-
wear.
mine are
Yeah, you guys
slim.
still
They
wear
call it-
skinny
the
jeans.
The safe term is slim.
Yeah, slim. That's what they are.
I still don't know how you guys wear them. I tried putting on a pair of jeans the other day that were like slim, and I thought I was gonna die. It was awful.
Mine turned into slim because I don't eat like I'm slim, so I just grow into mine.
So you put on skinny jeans and you wear them.
Yeah.
You wear them
Put
for
on
a little
regular
bit.
jeans, and they turn into skinny jeans because I eat too much.
Fair.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm the same way. Fat Dance has really been putting some weight on me. Those wings, dude. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I need to go back.
Yeah, I know.
You need to go back.
When did you go?
I went with you that one day.
Oh yeah,
after
you're
class.
right. You're right. That was a good time.
Hey, top of the hour.
Top of the hour. You were listening to WIUX LP Bloomington. Thank you, Father.
Holy cow.
I know, right? Yeah, man, time is flying by.
That means this was really fun.
Yeah, well, we still have some more time onto it. I know Brandon's gotta get going here soon.
I do. Yes.
All right, so I'll shun him real quick. Just shun.
Oh, I just realized there's not a show happening after you.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
sweet.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, cool
Yeah,
stuff.
cool.
beans.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
look at
cool.
that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, we got to get out of here.
No, or we can stay. We'll just chill here. Yeah. So,
Keep rifting.
oh yeah. Brandon, anything you want to say before you leave? Any advice? Give us your best advice that you've heard recently.
Best advice I've heard recently. Bundle up. My grandma texted me that this morning at like 6 a.m. Woke up to it, and I was like, "What is she?"
Did you
talking
feel
about?
Did you feel good though? Like when she texted you that, like to make
Well,
you?
I didn't know what she was talking about.
Fair.
So then I
You got a single
throw on a
text.
t-shirt and a jacket, open up my front door, and I'm like, oh,
Okay, bundle up.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I went back in, threw on some layers and a hat, and best advice I got in the last 24 hours.
Nice.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for Brandon?
No.
Fair.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
be true to yourself. I don't know.
There we go.
There you
That's
go.
Noah.
Don't do drugs.
That's great.
That's a great
advice.
one.
No.
That's
Yeah.
we don't do those here.
All about straight edge.
Yeah, just straight here. My advice for you is get your edit done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is priority number one on the list of things to do today.
Alrighty. Well, we will play a song. We're gonna play a song. It's actually a local song. I played it last week. I don't think I've showed you the song. You'll like it.
Is it I have not got no friends?
It is.
Oh,
No. It is not that song. No, that's the song I made.
really?
That's the song I made. Yeah, that's the song I made.
No.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, it's awful. It's good, but it's bad. All right. Well, this is Applesauce by Sam STS. So, okay, I want to ask my father a question. And this is a very, very deep question.
Nope, you're not in the will.
Darn. I'm not in the will.
Confirmed. Breaking headline news.
Breaking headline news.
Trevor
I will
is
not get
in
anything.
the will.
Great. It's okay. I don't want it anyway.
All right.
It's okay. You put my name in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're a big golfer.
Yep.
Very big golfer. He's a huge golfer.
Play a lot of golf.
What's your handicap now? 8, right?
Index is 5.1. So
I thought when was? I think last time I asked you was probably an 8. This is like probably years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. 5.1.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Tell us about your golf, like starting golf. Like you started golfing like in the Navy, right?
Yeah. So I didn't start. I played through when I was growing up. It was the 3 majors: football in the fall, basketball or wrestling in the winter, and then baseball during the spring and summer. Did start golfing. I think the first time I did that was maybe my senior year in high school, yeah, kind of liked it. It was just different. And then once I got in the Navy, I started playing a lot more. I had money back then, and had some time to kill when I wasn't on the ship. So it was a nice way to get out and hang out with some buds, and get out and see some nice sights, especially in California and the coast. So started playing a lot more then, and that's kind of when I fell in love with it, and realized that I can do that, forever. I can only play baseball so long, and definitely can't play football any longer.
Yeah, they're both very taxing sports.
Yeah. So golf, it's something that you can maintain through your whole life. So
Have you ever played golf, Noah?
No, not really. I mean, I've recreationally golf. I've only, honestly, I probably only played golf like 5 times. I remember my dad got me like when I was 14 years old because we started going just to it's called Creekside over back home. He loves to golf, so he was just like, let's go golfing. He got me like a kids golf set,
Yeah,
So
I've had one of those. I've had a few of those.
Yeah.
I would just spend time in my yard. Like we had a big field, and I would just like constantly like hit them. But not when it comes to actually playing the game. Yeah, no, it's kind of never really jumped into it too deep. I've always been more of not that golf isn't, because I think golf is one of those sports where it's like your only competition is yourself type.
Yeah, it's you against the course basically. Yeah.
Like there's definitely among that, but like me personally, like I really enjoy archery. Yeah.
Interesting.
When I was in I think 15 years old, my mom started taking us all to this archery range, and they just let you rent stuff, and we just went there every week. They taught us stuff, and archery's got to probably be my favorite sport aside from boxing. Boxing's fantastic.
Boxing's great. Yeah, I would have to say that I feel like everybody, so I was talking with a professor of mine, and we were talking about pastimes, and pastimes are really they're very important to people, and it's like I really, it's hard to find a good pastime. Like obviously your pastime is golf. Your pastime, well, like more or less, yeah, I guess music. Your pastime is music. You produce music.
Without a doubt,
yeah. And it's like I wouldn't say I'm still struggling to find my pastimes. I have pastimes I like to film. I like to do things. I like to I'm a jiu-jitsu addict, so I like to do jiu-jitsu. Cry chop. But it's very important. But there's these things in people's lives that don't change over time, and usually pastimes. And so it's like, have you ever noticed that for both of you, like when you've gotten, or so you started golfing, say 18, like have you noticed that although your golf kind of the love for it stays the same, that you change as a person, which affects your golf game, or or same with your music production?
Yeah, that's just experience. That's experience. I don't think that pastimes stay with you, because I've had a lot of pastimes. Like I used to bowl all the time, or I used to, play guitar, which I'm thinking I might pick back up. But it's just, there's loves, right? And you can have a pastime that you love, and that's golf for me. And music, I like listening to music and finding new bands that I like. But
country bands.
not necessarily. But I think that's for anything though. When you're asking about how you age, it goes into your work. It goes into how you are as a person. It goes into just everything, your relationships, everything. So as you get more experience, in dealing with different things, that affects how your perspective on different things. So in my specifically for golf, I used to be very animated and upset and when I would hit a bad shot, and I didn't understand that that's only going to lead me to hitting more bad shots, right? So as I gotten older, I realized that that's a snapshot in time that doesn't define me, right? My next shot, I have to be totally focused on it, and I realize that I'm not going to be a professional golfer either, right? So I don't have to hit every shot perfect.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to be the best that I can be on that given day, and I try to train for that. So.
Okay. It's definitely really hard. When I started doing jiu-jitsu, it was a big learning curve.
Certainly.
And so it's like, especially golf too. Golf is one of the toughest sports there is.
A lot of hand-eye coordination.
Exactly. And so it's like, I remember, you can attest to this as well, that I was a furious child. Like, I would if I didn't get something, and if it didn't go my way, I did not like it.
Still happens.
Still, yes, to this day. Why do you think we don't hang out like that much? Not really, but yeah, no,
lying.
I am lying. But yeah, it's just very infuriating, and it's really going back to like, I've noticed that when I stuck, even though I've only been doing jiu-jitsu for almost 6 years now, I haven't really been doing it a lot recently because money, but kind of like that lifestyle and continuing to do it, and it's like I've noticed that like it's helped a lot, and it helped you learn a lot from it, even though it's like stayed mainly like it's kind of stayed the same throughout my life. It's still the same. Like I advance in belt colors. Yes, you lower your handicap, get new clubs, play different courses, new samples, new music, new beats, learn something. It stays relatively the same, but you change so much as a person from that pastime, from what you learned from that pastime.
Yeah.
Regardless if you have multiple pastimes, like you said, bowling and guitar and stuff.
Yeah, it's just growing as a person and then applying that to the things that you do in life, whether it's work, whether it's pastime, whether it's love, whether it's art, whatever it is. It's it's growing as a person, being open-minded to different things, being available. One of the things that I mentioned it earlier is I just like to learn stuff. I like to learn new things. I try to learn something every year.
What's the thing you're doing this year?
This year, last year was bridge. This year,
Bridge, the card game?
Yeah. So I learned.
Who'd you play with?
I learned it online, so I started playing it online. So,
okay.
Yeah, I was at Buffett and Bill Gates. They're big bridge players, and so I was like,
oh, so you're gonna be the next billionaire?
No. But if that's what it takes, I will. Yeah. But so this year it was because I I used to do software development. It was wanted to learn how to do write Python. I know that's a language that's it's mainstream right now. It's really easy to use, and I've pretty much already taught myself how to do it so far in 2 months. And like I said, I already had a background, and it was just more learning, picking up that language, and then applying it. So I'm writing some stuff for my NCAA bets coming up. Not that I guess it's legal to make bets now. So yeah, I'm making bets.
Yeah, you're a FanDueler.
No.
DraftKings. DraftKings. I just, man, that's just.
Don't do it.
Well, I do want to go to a casino here soon, especially in the summer.
Save up your money.
I'm going to.
And then only take a little bit of it.
I'm going to, and then I'm going to come back with a lot of it.
Don't think like that.
I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back with a lot of it. So much of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll in the dough.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so low on money all the time. It's just like I can't even. It's like I'm gonna bet like a nickel.
Yeah.
There's penny slots. I had a neighbor.
That's ridiculous.
I had a neighbor in Texas. Her name was Joyce. I don't know how to say her last name, but she was my grandparents' neighbor for years. They had all types of money because her husband won some type of lawsuit with his work and stuff. So they had all types of money. They'd go to the casino all the time, and she would just come back. She would just be in the casino for the week and come back with like $25,000, $10,000. No, she did. Like, it was like multiple times a year.
Nah, I don't believe it.
I'm being serious.
She went to the casino.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying. There's a reason those folks are in business.
That's true.
You don't just come back with 25 grand, a couple times a year. You might, and if she did come do that a couple times a year, she probably went 20 times more and lost 50 grand each time.
That's probably true.
So,
yeah.
So don't take, don't just follow that book by its cover. I mean, it's there's always a backstory.
Some people do got it though.
That's true.
They just I don't know what they see, but they.
Yeah, well, there's
it's like counting cards and stuff.
And that's actually a great documentary out on, I think it's Netflix, or it might be Amazon, but it talks about a professional. They call them advantage players, and advantage player. He has to go and change his identity to go into these casinos, and so what he ended up doing was he couldn't find any more places that he could play in Las Vegas, so he took some money. I think he might already had the Winnebago or the RV, and so he just made a huge trip for I think it was a year, and he tracked how much money he could win in all these other places that didn't know him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's a great but
what's it called?
I don't. It's called. I think it's. I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
Cool.
I got your digits.
Yeah.
So
I hope so.
Yeah, but it's So those types of players, I mean, they are out there, and and they are able to, they're statistical minded, and they have the ability to, be patient and know when to bet and how much to bet, and know when the odds are in their favor, right? And blackjack is one of the games where you have the best opportunity to maximize your ability to win. Right? Doesn't mean you're going to win, but you have the best odds at doing it in that game. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, it's almost time to wrap up the show. Do you guys have anything else you want to say?
Oh, thanks for having me. Had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Glad to see that you're
doing something
other
than just sitting in my apartment.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that. So.
What about you, Noah? Do you have anything to say?
Love you, Mom and Pop.
Are they listening?
No. They're in Greenwood.
Fair.
They probably don't have no, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, this is
campus-wide.
Campus, and it's a little bit farther than campus. It's like Walmart area, I think, right?
I think it could probably reach out that far. I know the furthest up north is probably right around the CVS pharmacy on Walmart, or not Walmart.
Walnut. So it doesn't even hit the mall.
I think it hits the mall.
They could stream it.
Stream it. Folks are probably
just stream it, man. You're using
just
your
stream
phone
it.
anyway.
If you want, recommended to stream.
Yeah.
Stream.
But yeah, no. So yeah, you've been listening to WIUX Pure Student Radio one more time because I stuttered there. WIUX Pure Student Radio 99.1 FM. This is Alternative No Sidecar. I'm Trevor Johnson, your host. I host a B-side show on WIUX.org 9 to 10 on Wednesdays as well. Next week, I don't know who's going to be on, and I guess it'll be a mystery. So
you'll phone in.
That would be clever. That'd be cool. Phone in. Yeah. But yeah, have a good day, I guess. I don't know. All right. Bye.